Well, it's spring, which is good news. Finally, we got through that. Well, it's definitely spring now. It's once you get to the 20th of March, it's not summer, but winter's over. You can see the grass is growing, the weeds are growing, green buds are appearing everywhere. So thank heavens for that. But obviously, with all the issues going on, internationally, and the health situation in Britain, I am self-isolating, by the way. But the allotment's only 2 minutes away from the house. I haven't gone anywhere near anybody else, and I'm not going to at all. But I'm getting some exercise and some sunshine, and then I'm going to go straight back home. So anyway, yeah. So the allotment is. Yes, so now we're going to have to battle the weeds. I'm going to try not to be distracted by a flapping greenhouse door in the wind. Yeah, so the wind's still strong. It's still like a wintry wind, but you can tell by the light. There's so much more light now. All the plants are responding. So anyway, yeah. So we've got to do plant some modules. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to plant this bed up now with some spinach and bits and bobs. It is spring, but I think it's still a bit too early for leaving plants here exposed. So what I'm going to do is put a hoop with some plastic. Got some spare plastic and hoops, polythene, put it over the top of it, and to protect it. But anyway, yeah. So I'm going to spread this compost out a bit, and then show you my planting. So that's spread out. The compost is spread out. It's about an inch worth. Let's get that spinach and so on in. It's not the best looking cloche in the world, so I'm missing at least one rib. So put another one in there, and that should keep it aloft, maybe two. Well, that's it, sort of ish. It'll do the job. It'll keep the wind off, which is the main thing, and keep some heat in. So mostly the wind. It's when you keep the wind off that things will start thriving early. I do this at home quite often, but up on the plot here, it is a wild bit of land. It takes a lot longer to warm up than other parts of Bristol. I live less than a mile away, which is much warmer than here. It was absolutely freezing right up until sort of end of April. Anyway, that's my cloche. The sun's going down now, and so I'm going to head off home. But just a couple of things I'd like to show you. Well, this is the cloche is done. So now, since then, having a bit of a fiddle around here. So we've got some perennial brassicas. So this is 9-star perennial. I didn't get it in quick enough. It is going to flower, but it's not. So you see, it's very similar to a purple sprouting broccoli, except it keeps coming back year after year. But this is just, you want it at this time of year to be as big as a purple sprouting. So obviously it's not. So it's going to flower, but next year it'll be bigger. And I can take cuttings from it to start new plants. I've done it before. It's not as good tasting as purple sprouting. That's the disadvantage of perennial vegetables, is that we develop varieties better as annuals than we do as perennials. But anyway, this one here is African kale. This is a perennial kale. I've seen it flower once, but I've never seen it flower since. So it's a perennial kale. Just keeps coming back year after year after year. No flowering, just leaves, lots and lots of leaves. It's very similar to d'Orbiton, which is the French one, but this is the African one. It seems to be quite hardy. Certainly does better, I think, than d'Orbiton, d'Orbenton, or whatever. But over here is the Taunton Dean, which lots of people have now, and it is a giant. It's enormous, and it just spreads, or you can train it up high as a tree. But yeah, so it's it can be quite attractive and purpley and stuff. It's not as good tasting as the Dorbiton or the African kale, but again, it doesn't flower and it's enormous. You get lots and lots of grub off this one. This has been here about 4 years. I mean, look at the size of the trunk. Great big woody trunk there. This is Ehrwiger Coal. It's the least hardy of the lot. It doesn't really want to thrive here. It's a German one. It doesn't flower. It's bushy as opposed to, you know, a spreading shrub like that one. Yeah, so I've got a little collection of perennial kales. It's not bad tasting, this one, but it's not. It doesn't thrive like the others, so it may be for the chop. But anyway, or grow it in a greenhouse or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So that's my perennial brassicas, and that's me for the evening. I shall see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Ta-ra for now.